Welcome to the series on my channel where we will be covering every single Treyarch Zombies map released all the way up until Vanguard every single week. For today's episode we have Zombie Verrückt, the first ever DLC for zombies, and the second map inside of World at War Zombies. Verrückt is a very interesting map as it introduced a ton of things into the series. Perks, traps, talkable characters, a bunch of things, and those things we will be going over today in this episode of Zombies Analysis, or whatever the hell the name of the series is. I don't know. It's just a map review series, alright? Don't crucify me. Alright, so, to start things off, we will be going over the pros of the map, then the cons of the map, and then the conclusion. The main point of this series is just to discuss and break down these maps, and then I always like to give my opinions at the end of them, and just say what I think, and things about the map that can improve. So, the version I will be covering is probably the World at War version. However, the gameplay will be Black Ops 3, as that's just the version I like the most. I will discuss, like, the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 versions, but, like, the version I will be speaking is, of course, a World at War version. So, let's hop into the pros of the map. Actually, quick tangent, before the pros of the map, let's talk about the map itself, like the actual, like, aesthetic of the map. So, Verrückt takes place in an insane asylum, way out in the middle of nowhere in a burning forest, where 4 soldiers are sent to extract Peter McCain from the facility. Tank Dempsey, John Banana, Smokey, and then Paxton Ridge, all sent to this asylum to retrieve Peter McCain. But unfortunately, they don't succeed, and only Dempsey makes it out alive. The story on this map is very subtle, but it's there for those who are interested in delving deep into the lore of CoD Zombies. Like me personally, I'm a pretty big lore fan for the CoD Zombies series. It's a pretty good start and ground for the story, because it gets super crazy later on, as we all are probably well aware of. Inside this asylum, you will be finding things like, you'll be seeing dentist chairs where patients were tortured, dead bodies, fire, debris, blood, all these sounds of the past. It is terrifying, especially in World at War, where the game is just overall has a darker tone to it, plus the zombies are super sprinting in that version. Oh my goodness, this map is pretty scary. I personally don't think it's the scariest map ever, but it's impossible to deny the horror factor for this map, I can tell you that much. So with the aesthetics covered, I suppose let's hop into the pros of the map. So, the pros. There's a lot here, because Verrückt is the first DLC, and it innovated so much more than we all probably realize. For one, it introduced perks. Juggernog Soda, Speed Cola, Quick Revive Soda or Elixir, one of the two, and then Double Tap Root Beer. These 4 perks are essential to every single map moving forward, and they would have been nice to have unlocked as well, but it makes sense why they're not there. Juggernog, of course, increases your health, so you can take, I believe, 4 hits in World at War. Speed Cola increases your reload speed, Double Tap increases your fire rate, and then Quick Revive allows you to rev teammates a lot faster, which is extremely good. My personal preferred way to buy these perks is probably Jug first, and then if you're in co-op, Quick Revive. In solo, I recommend Speed Cola, then Double Tap, and then Quick Revive. Because Quick Revive in World at War does not do anything, so keep that in mind. So it introduces the 4 perks, which are absolutely essential, and they're such a good addition. It also introduces traps. Traps are pretty much little machines around the map that if you turn them on, they deal infinite damage to zombies. And they're usually in stationary areas, though risky areas, so you can't just be spamming these. They have a pretty lengthy recharge time of about a minute, I would say, but they do infinite damage, and it's definitely the key to getting the high rounds, as there are no infinite damage wonder weapons on this map. This map also introduces power. Power pretty much means you can't buy perks or open certain doors until the power is on in the middle of the map. So you have to pretty much shoot your way through a horde of zombies for about 3 rounds until you get enough points to open up power and then turn it on, which lights up some areas, it turns on the perk machines, it opens some doors. It's overall just something you definitely want on. Verrückt also introduces the moving mystery box. Normally in Ukter and Toten, the box is stationary 100% of the time. No matter how many times you spin it, the box will never move. However, in Verrückt, after a certain amount of spins, the chance of it moving increasing every single time you spin it, I think up to a max of 9 hits or something. the box will eventually move, no matter what, to a very dangerous area of the map. It's extremely dangerous because you cannot tell where the mystery box is. As in Verrückt or World at War, there is no mystery box light like in Shino Numa, so you are going to be lost without it. Especially considering there's also no real good wonder weapon other than the ray gun inside the box. You're going to be struggling quite a bit. This map also introduces something unique to this map and one other, being where you're separated from your team from the start. The start of the match will have, depending on how many players in your game, if it's 2 players, 1 will be on each side. If it's 3 players, 2 will be on one, and then 1 will be on the other. And then 4 players will be 2 and 2 on either side of the map, where you have to once again fight your way to the power and meet up to open the central door so you can reunite with your teammates. It's a very cool gimmick that I kind of wish was brought back a bit more. But in solo, you really won't notice this change too much. So that's about pretty much everything Verrückt introduced. There's also Easter egg songs, which was technically on Noct as well, but like you flush the toilet 3 times and you get a really good Easter egg song. Very iconic, very cool. It's a nice little addition. I guess we can quickly talk about the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 versions. Black Ops 1 adds the Winter's Howl to this map and Fuel Kick, while Black Ops 3 adds a Wonder Fizz machine and a Gobble Gun machine to this map. Plus the Wonder Waff and the Ray Gun Mark II, which is very nice to say the least. It really increases the replayability of this map. Kind of wish they added a quest, but it makes sense, it makes sense, it makes sense. It also adds the entire Ultimus crew in Black Ops 1 and 3, which is not canon, by the way. I don't believe. I believe forgive me for the quick, I guess, lore aspect, but I remember reading that these are fractures, like the Dreisendrach and Zetsubo and all that. They're fractures, they're separate timelines than the original, which is really cool because Ultimus is never in Verrückt, only Dempsey is. So that's really cool, that's really cool. But anyway, that's pretty much everything Verrückt introduced. And they introduced everything well, which is why it's all in the pros section. Like, this map innovated so much and it just rejuvenated any kind of fatigue you might have had from Noct with just how bare-boned and repetitive it got. Verrückt, you have 2 different spawn rooms, you have a better box, you have perks, you have power, you have the moving mystery box, you have all that stuff, which traps, you have an Easter egg song, you have so much new stuff, there's more space to run around. It's just overall a very good map and a very tough map. Which leads us into our cons. Now, there's not really much I don't like about this map other than it's a little unnaturally difficult. Because it's so difficult because there's no room. And then the zombies, I believe in World at War, can outrun you. Which, I don't know how that is even close to fair. But, you know, I guess it's a skill issue at the end of the day. It's a really good map, especially in the remakes. But the World at War version is just brutally difficult. So you just want to camp by Jug. Or not by Jug, by the electric trap. You want to camp by that in a mystery box location near Double Tap. I mean, you can go ham. With 4 people there, it probably is extremely fun. But it is brutal, and you're not going to make it very far ever. No matter how good you play, no matter how many perks you have, no matter how lucky your drops are, you're never going to make it, like, past, like, round 20, because of how fast and how difficult the zombies get. There is a Jug glitch you can get, which I don't know how to get. I believe there's a mule kit glitch in World at War, but like their glitches are not official like pieces of content for the map, so we're not going to count that here. But overall, Verrückt is a very solid map. I really don't have anything to complain about here. It's just a very fun, yet really a little too challenging for my liking map. This is coming from somebody who loves challenging maps like Blood of the Dead, so I was like, I just think the map is just a little bullshit hard, not hard like Blood of the Dead hard. It's a solid map nonetheless, and I really enjoy it. Especially with friends. Like, you play this map with friends, especially on Black Ops 3, you can get to some pretty high rounds. If I had to give a recommendation, I'd say the Black Ops 3 or 1 version. Black Ops 3's is the best, obviously, but Black Ops 1's is the second. Unfortunately, World at War is the worst version, even though it's the original, but, like, that's to be expected, and there's nothing against World at War's version at all. Still really good, but overall, it could be a lot better. Anyway, though, that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. There's really nothing else that the map introduced. It's just a very solid DLC 1 map that got everyone super excited from Noct and gets them excited for the new DLC 2 coming out soon. And then you got a new story being brewed in, which there's nothing about the story in the con section, I can tell you that much. But that pretty much brings us to the end of the video, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time for Shino Numa.